Good afternoon, my friends and my clients. This is Hilgard here again, and I'm just giving you an update midweek of what we've seen happen in the last few days and what are we doing in response to the new news. So here's a quick news update. Not that you have not read it yourself, but President Trump extended the stay at home order still in place per the president until the end of April. This is because the peak of fatality is not expected for another 2 weeks. May 3rd is when we see the peak time in the state of Florida. The moment we have 300 folks who have the disease here in Orange County. As of the 30th of March, over 1 million Americans have been tested for COVID-19, and April 17th to 20th is the expected date for the phase 3 stimulus checks to start reaching folks. This is the checks that is coming from the government. And then we're starting to hear about a stimulus phase 4 package and what that might look like. A big part of what came out in the last week, Friday, the president signed into force the CARES Act. Some interesting things about the CARE Act relevant to individuals is the fact that normally you could only access up to $50,000 of money out of your 401k plan. That limit now is increased to $100,000. When you pull money out of those accounts, normally you're subject to a 10% penalty that has been waived. And another fact is that when you obviously pull money out of these accounts, you have to pay an income tax. If you are pulling money from these accounts, just know that you don't have to pay the income tax this year. It is actually can be spread over 3 years. Now, before you pull money from these accounts, I would have you call us. Let's have a discussion to really think through what we want to do. But here's a cool feature. Normally, you can distribute money out of an IRA, have a check in your possession for up to 60 days. It's called the 60-day rollover, and then put the money back into your account. Maybe if this affects you and you're worried about cash flow, you can do the same thing. You can pull money out of your IRA account if you want to, keep it in your possession, and put it back into your plan. And normally that window is 60 days. That also has been deferred for up to 3 years. So it means that if you need cash, get back on your feet, and then can put it back within 3 years, there is no income tax due on that distribution. 401k loan provisions have gone up from 50,000, as I said, also up to 100,000. So again, if you're finding yourself in a bind where you need access to cash flow, call us first. We'll walk you through that. But these limits have been increased in order to help folks during this period of time. And then required minimum distributions. This is a distribution before the end of last year you had to take out when you were 17 and a half. The Secure Act came through, made it 72. And now the CARES Act comes on top of that and says nobody needs to be taking out or have to take out required minimum distributions. That is also relevant to you if you have inherited an IRA. So inherited IRAs, as well as folks who are over the age of 72, does not have to take required minimum distributions. Now, we are scratching our head a little bit on this one because we have clients that we are sending money to on a monthly basis. And so we are retooling your income spend down plan in my back office and thinking through how we want to do this very effectively and efficiently for you. So broader sense, folks, just want to remind you, 0.02% of the population in Orange County have this disease. We're obviously dealing with a very contagious disease. I don't want to minimize it in any shape or form, but it's kind of like watching the hurricane come through. So 0.02%, just keep it in mind, okay? Other good news that I see as far as creating perspective is that China has started sending a lot of their migrant workers back to factories, and the production numbers in China has actually picked up very, very nicely, actually slightly higher than what was expected. This is good news. This means that folks there, who are typically about a month and a half to 2 months ahead of us, are back to work, and their production numbers is better than what's anticipated, which means more people is actually going back to work. Now we're keeping a very close eye on this to see if there's a surge in COVID-19 cases as a result of folks going back to work. So many people in our community have recently been laid off. As you know, we live in a very, very touristy town, right? So folks from Marriott, Disney, SeaWorld, and many other local tourist-driven jobs. We know that the essence of the CARES Act is to help small business owners, employers, to be able to keep the employees employed, but some companies had to cut back. When you have friends who have been cut back or have lost their jobs, please pass on this video as well as many more videos that is to come to specifically help those folks. We are creating a video actually today talking specifically if you were a person that lost your job, talking about resources, what to do, things to be thinking about, how to really put together the solution or the rescue package until you get back on your feet. So stay tuned for that. What have we done so far as a result of all this new information that is coming through? We created a very good summary in a video yesterday around the CARES Act. Feel free to pass that on to any of your business owner clients that can be of help to. We are shooting another video on just additional tips to our business owner clients. And then we talked about this last time, but inside of our Vanguard strategies, we have passed a tactical trade. We've done a trade in which we are going to cash positions for about 50 of those positions. The reason we do is because we do believe, we might be wrong, but we do believe that this market has more to go, unfortunately, on the bottom side. We want to put brakes on some of the portfolios. Also, maybe take advantage of an opportunity to buy back in at a lower price level. As always, my team is very, very available for any conversation with you. Any questions that you might have around your finances, even this tactical trade we put in place, and feel free to pass our name on to anybody that we can be of great help to. For those folks who have cash positions and feel like this is a good time to buy into the markets and are wondering what individual stock picks they should be looking at, we developed a list of about 20 stocks that are really good opportunities to buy into if you're coming out of a position of strength and cash. What we're continuing to do is monitor very, very closely. We are daily looking at the markets movements and passing on information to you to be helpful to again to you or anybody that you feel we can be of help to. So we're available. We're here for you. If you want to schedule time to connect with us, you go to our website, www.lifewealthgroup.com, schedule a time, and we would love to have a Zoom meeting with you. Thank you very much for your attention and stay safe.